Hi everyone, welcome to Lime Life and True Beauty with Biffy Ipple. I want to thank you all for following and supporting me. It really means a lot. Again, if you like my videos and all of my material, please go ahead and follow me on Facebook at Biffy Ipple, my page Lime Life and True Beauty with Biffy Ipple on Facebook, or me on Instagram as @BodaciousBiffy. So today I'm showing off my Goals, Glam, and Grit shirt that I ended up winning through my work. And I'm gonna go ahead and teach you guys about a baked cheddar potato recipe I stumbled upon. It's easy, it's 5 ingredients, and it serves about 6 people. You'll need about 3 pounds of potato that's cut and peeled, ready to go to be boiled. You'll need a cup of ranch as well. However, I ended up using more. And then you're gonna need some bacon to crumble on top of the potato mixture. You'll need 1½ cup of cheese, but I ended up, again, using a lot more than usual. And then last but not least, you'll need some salt and pepper to flavor it. So after you get all of your ingredients together, the first step is, of course, set the oven. Sometimes I forget to do this, and I absolutely hate that when the food is ready to go and I've forgotten to set the oven. So you'll set the oven to 350 degrees, and then you'll go ahead and get some water ready to heat up and boil. Put a little bit of salt in there to flavor it and have the potatoes absorb that when they get boiled. And now go ahead and find the potatoes that you have peeled and cut up into pieces and add it into the water. And now what you're gonna go ahead and do is wait for the water to boil, and then you'll turn the temperature down and wait for the potatoes to cook that way. As you can see, I accidentally added way too much water. So I had to, before I start, go ahead and take some of the water out. I tend to do this as well. I just forget that I should probably put the potatoes in first and then the water so that it can measure out better. All right, so my water just finished boiling and I'm gonna set the temperature down, and then I'll go ahead and let it boil for 10 minutes. Once that process is done, you wanna go ahead and get a fork or a toothpick, and you're gonna go ahead and check and make sure that the fork can poke through the potato, so that will tell you that it's soft enough and it's ready to go for the next process and step. I was lucky that my potatoes were ready, and so I drained them in a strainer, and now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. So I'm wondering, what's your favorite way to eat potatoes? Is it mashed? Is it as a baked potato? Is it as fries? I think potatoes are so interesting and awesome because there's many different things that we can do with them. And so it's fun to find unique ways to cook with them, which is why I think I've been on this strange potato train of just cooking that way. All right, so as you can see, I've added the ranch, the salt and pepper, and then you're also going to add the cheese. And your potato mixture is ready to mix everything around to make sure it evenly gets all of the ingredients distributed. So I, again, didn't really measure out a cup of ranch or a cup and a half of cheese because I prefer to just look after I mix and eyeball and see if I'm gonna end up needing more or less of a recipe. And when I say less, I mean that I can take note of the future to know that for my family or for whoever I'm cooking for, that a cup of ranch ended up being too much. But for my family, we need more. And so I generously poured about half of that bottle of ranch. And as you can see, it's a very big bottle. And then I also noticed that there wasn't enough cheese to satisfy my family. So I wasn't gonna stop there. I went ahead and ended up adding more cheese to the potato mixture. So back to that question about how you all like potatoes. I would say, obviously, we know that French fries are super addicting, and I love French fries, but I'm wondering where you would go for your French fries. And I've heard some people say that you can definitely taste the difference with all of them, and I completely agree. It's funny because there's some French fries that I know I will definitely need something to eat it with, like ketchup, in order to enjoy it. And there's others that I know I won't need anything to take it with because it will taste fine just as it is. But what's your favorite kind of French fries? I think I'm struggling with that one right now. I have a few contenders, but I'll get back with you all once I have an idea. But I think right now, believe it or not, it's Burger King. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you'll get a baking dish and make sure that you coat it with oil or cooking spray, something that will help your food not get stuck to it or burn to it. And then you'll go ahead and scoop all of the potato mixture in there. And as you can see, I was struggling with my cameras. I end up filming with two, so one is portrait and one is landscape. And so sometimes the angles are different and I have to adjust my equipment differently for both of them to come out okay. But once I was able to pick up the hot pot, I put out all of the mixture into the baking dish, and it really is that easy and simple, everyone. You boil the potatoes, you mix everything together, you sprinkle on more cheese and bacon, and then it'll be ready to pop in the oven. And again, it's 5 ingredients. So things like salt and pepper, you probably already have that in your home. Most people usually have cheese in their home, but again, they're easy recipes that you can just quickly pick up at the store if you don't end up having cheese or bacon or something like that. So it's really awesome. It was a nice, quick and easy meal. That's how I love to cook. And so I was really happy that this meal didn't end up being so tedious as some of the other ones I've recorded have ended up being. All right, so we're ready for the next step, which is go ahead and sprinkle around that crumbled bacon. And then you'll go ahead and sprinkle around some more cheese. As if we don't have enough cheese, but you know how a lot of recipes are that are just full of dairy. They just say to add more cheese, add more ranch, and to basically kill yourself with it. So after you go ahead and sprinkle the toppings, then that's when the next process is, where you just have to pop it in the oven. And so it's really nice. And also, get this, it doesn't need that much time in the oven. The point of it going into the oven is to actually just melt the cheese. So technically, it's ready to eat now, with the exception of the cheese topping that I am spreading upon it right now. So when you're all done with that, you're actually just going to end up popping it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, or whenever you see the cheese melted and that you're happy and satisfied with that. All right, it's ready to pop in the oven, so go ahead and put it in for 8 to 10 minutes. I like it more on the crispy side, so I definitely went for 10 minutes. And just make sure that the cheese melts on the top to your satisfaction. So I want to go ahead and thank you all for following and watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to all of my platforms, at Bodacious Biffy on Instagram, at Biffy Ipple on Facebook, and at Lime Life and True Beauty with Biffy Ipple as my Facebook page. I also have a YouTube channel which has most of these videos, and so I'll make sure to add that in the link as well. Again, thank you for your love and support. It really means a lot. All my love, joy, peace, and abundance to you all. You all take care.